like the Pioneers will receive the first half kickoff going left to right on your screen. And the Raiders will be going from right to left. It's a brisk night out there for football, but nonetheless, it is a very beautiful night here in Manassas.
Looks like Stroman's back to return.
So depending on how well this is kicked, Stroman might have a good chance to get a decent return. And we are all set here in Manassas for your opening kickoff live from Stonewall Jackson High School. And here we go. And it's a nice line drive kick high. Back to the goal line is Stroman. And he's going to take it up to the 10, up to the 15. Got a cut. Ooh, nice tackle there to stop him at the 20. And that gets the Stonewall crowd a little excited here, filling in a little bit.
And we talked about the stars on the offensive side of the ball, but Stonewall has some very big stars on the defensive side of the ball with Tyleek Williams, Sean Murphy, and they've had a couple other guys like Shane Eller, Jovan Jackson, Xander Albia, who's also their running back, as we previously talked about, make big plays. And Sean Murphy's actually ranked third in the country for his first class. He's a sophomore. He'll graduate in 2022. And Tyleek Williams, he's 6'3", 290 pounds. And I believe he's fifth in the state of Virginia for 2021.
So Pioneers going to start off at this drive at their own 20. The give is to Baldwin, it looks like. And good job by Stonewall to get behind there and stop him early.
It looks like it was Tyleek Williams right on cue.
So that'll bring up a second and a long 12. Actually lost 2 on that play. So good job by the Stonewall defense.
And the thing to watch out for, Stonewall has given up, I mean, most of their games, they've won them by a lot, but they've given up a touchdown early in those games. And I don't really think they can do that in this game. So let's see. And Patriots been able to get off to good start. So let's see how that works in the beginning of this football game.
So it's a shotgun snap. Rogers is going to go deep down the field. He's got a man wide open, and that's caught. I believe that's, I couldn't see the number, but he's down to the 20 and tackled down at the 5.
It looks like somebody fell there, and he was wide open. It was a good throw by Rogers.
That was Stroman on the catch.
And a very interesting story with Stroman, as his brother, Greg Stroman, went to Virginia Tech, also played for the Redskins, went to Stonewall, and he's had some very good games against Stonewall.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Pioneers can still get a first down on this drive, and with only just under 11 minutes to play, the Pioneers are already in business here in the red zone. Rogers is in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Give is going to be to Baldwin at the middle, but again, not a lot of room to work with. Maybe a yard or two, and so the defense so far for Stonewall being able to stop the run, that's a good thing.
Yeah, as we previously talked about, they like to run the ball, and they show that passing ability, but they might need to pass it more, or the Pioneers might need to pass it more than they would like. This Stonewall defense has had a very good run defense this whole year and a very good defense the whole season, only allowing 6 points a game.
Yeah, they've been really good at not giving up too many points. Same for the Pioneers as well. So both of these teams don't give up a lot of points. So we'll see again how that affects this game. Give is to Baldwin again up the middle, and still minimal gain. And that's the key for the Stonewall defense, because he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. So if you can keep him to under that average, you'll be in good shape for the Stonewall defense. So another good stop there as it brings up a 3rd down.
But that deep pass was a big thing for the Pioneers, because now the Raiders have to respect that deep ball, and it might back them off, because it looks as if right now they're really pressuring that run, so it might create more running lanes for Baldwin.
So shotgun formation again for Rogers. 3 men out to the right side. He's going to take the snap. He looks Baldwin's way now under a heavy rush. He's going to try not to get out of it. Throws it away. And I don't know if anybody was there. That's going to be intentional grounding. There was nobody close to that ball. And it is intentional grounding.
So great defensive possession besides that deep ball by the Raiders. And let's see what this brings up with the field, because you doubt they'll go for it on 4th down. It's a 4th and long, but can your kicker kick it that far? And at that point for Rogers, you kind of just have to eat it and take the loss.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Finnerty calls up here for the Pioneers. Because in a game like this, when the opportunities arise, you certainly want to try and take advantage of them, but you also want to be smart.
Especially, apparently they're at home, but they're really on the road. So
yeah, exactly.
And they have the favor with the crowd, so you want to get them into it.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field with Rogers.
This is a very long field goal for any high school kicker.
Absolutely. And he's going to take the snap shotgun here.
Getting pressure.
And they got the pressure on him. He does get away from it. Still on his feet. He's got a man downfield at the sideline, but not enough for the first down. So it's going to be a turnover on downs, but at least they get the ball back to the Stonewall 20 for them to start this drive.
And, yeah, they were able to get pressure. They lost contain, but good coverage downfield, forced a short pass, and a good stand by the Raiders. So let's see who's quarterback to start off this football game.
And it looks like at least Reeves is going out on the field. That doesn't mean he's necessarily going to be playing quarterback, because he will play some other positions out there as well. But it looks like he's going to be in the backfield first for the Raiders.
And there was a little bit of uncertainty if Tavil Jung would play, as he sprained his ankle recently.
So Reeves is at shotgun. He'll take the snap. He's got to get away from a rush, but he can definitely use his feet, and he will. Ooh, but stand-up tackle there by the Pioneers, and that's going to be a loss of at least 1 or 2 on that play, but he did at least get away from the rush. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 11 here for the Raiders. Just under 9 minutes to play here in this first quarter. And if it's too cold for you out there tonight, go ahead and put it on pwsports.com and you can watch the game for free live.
And we talked about the stars for the Raiders defense, but for this Pioneers defense, of course, as we talked about, they have Jalen Stroman and they have Joey Lacey, who leads them in tackles.
Shotgun snap by Reeves, but he's going to give it off to his running back, and that was Albia. And I do apologize earlier. It clearly says on the roster for Stonewall Xander. I don't know where I got Xavier from. Must have been maybe one of Joel's tweets. I don't know. But so I do apologize for that early on. Thank you for the correction there, Colin. And I will make sure to get it right going forward. So we are at 8 minutes to go in this first quarter. 3rd and 6 here for the Raiders.
And both offenses haven't really been able to get anything going besides a secondary player tripping for the Raiders, resulting in a big play. And that chase down tackle by Jovan Jackson is really big right now.
Reeves takes the snap, going to have to get away from a rush again. Now he's looking downfield. He's got a man. Oh, but it's just a little overthrown, almost picked off. And that's going to come up a 3 and out here for the Raiders.
I believe that is Jonathan Prempe on the stop. And that's going to be a big matchup because he's had a very good season, but he's undersized going against these Wisconsin wide receivers in Khalid Williams, Rayshawn Coates, and Elijah Reese, and some very talented wide receivers as well.
So the Raiders are going to set up to punt it away. Trying to see who's back to return for the Pioneers. And looks like it's Stroman. And he's set up at his own 35, so possible good return here. Ooh, and it's just a short kick. And they're going to down it at the 48-yard line of the Raiders, so great field position for this Pioneers team right off the bat.
And Jovan Jackson, he plays offense and defense, so they don't really have a true punter, but he's had a pretty good season, so a little bit surprising to see a poor punt there. And they always have the threat of a fake punt just with his athleticism. But, yeah, big opportunity for Patriot to get ahead early. And I think whoever can establish his run game first will be able to get ahead in this game.
Pioneers coming out of the shotgun, handoff to Baldwin, and he's going to, this time he barrels forward. takes a bunch of Raiders with him to finally take him down, but he does get positive yardage on that one. But there's Coates coming in on the tackle there from the secondary. And so that'll bring up a 2nd and 5 with exactly 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Pioneers get back to the line here. Same formation with those trips out to the far side. And Rogers in the shotgun with Baldwin to his left. Stroman, the lone receiver here on the near side.
Maybe watch for a screen to that left side.
Oh, and the Raiders were pushing up early here. Might have been a neutral zone infraction. Looks like Shane Eller and one of his other linebackers there were just a little excited trying to get up on that line. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty and a first down for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I don't quite agree with that call, but there's a reason he's on, or that referee's on the field and I am not. But yeah, Shane Eller, he's a freshman, and he's small in terms of height, but he is a big kid, and he's had a very good season.
Oh, yeah. He is definitely a fire starter for this defense. There's the give to Baldwin again, straight up the middle. Gets up to the 35, so very minimal gain again, but another good stop there by the defense.
And still talking about Shane Eller, he has, because of his size and because of the way he's played this year, he's gotten the nickname Baby Hulk from his teammates.
There you go.
So that pretty much tells you the story there. But you can see Patriots running it with Baldwin right now, and I think that's going to set up for the run with Rogers or some play action. So Stonewall needs.
That's what they did on the last drive, was the play action there. Rogers is going to take the snap here. Oh, he's going to try and find Baldwin. He's got him at the 20. And that was a nice little dink and dunk there for Baldwin.
Yeah, that's a RPO run pass option.
There you go.
And that's a pretty advanced play.
But you brought up the play action. That's how that play with Stroman happened in their first drive. They did the play action. Stonewall bid on it, and that gave Stroman the opportunity to be wide open down the field. So you're absolutely right, Colin. That's something that they might try and utilize.
And talking about Rogers, a knock has been on him that he's too small, but he's very mobile and he's really tough, so I wouldn't underestimate him at all. And he has the ball here.
It's a quarterback keeper, faked it to Baldwin, takes it up the middle for a couple yards.
Quarterback keeper. 2 yards on the play.
In a big situation here for both teams. And I wonder if it's 4-down territory for Patriot.
Well, considering what they did on their first drive, and this much closer to the goal, I would assume that they would probably keep the offense on the field. I don't know. But that would be interesting to see. Now, 2nd down, though, here, 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers. Keeping in that shotgun formation with Rogers. Stroman's going to come around on the end around, but Rogers is going to keep it. And he gets tackled up quickly there. So now an interesting 3rd down here coming up for the Pioneers.
And Albia and Williams on the tackles there, and Albia will be a big player on both sides of the ball.
That's right, yep.
And, of course, Williams, he has to be the biggest guy on the field. And even with his size, he's extremely athletic. In this after the football season last year, it was really just Sean Murphy, as we've mentioned. He was getting offers, and then I felt like 2 hours later, Tyleek Williams was getting that same offer. So 2 very known players in the area.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing about a program like Stonewall is they have already a network in place that they use to their advantage to get these players offers and get them recruited and whatnot. And I think Woodbridge they've started to do that really well too with their recruiting network. So these teams in this area definitely know what they're doing when it comes to that kind of stuff.
We have a new quarterback in, number 12.
Oh, Fernandez is in at quarterback for them. He gives it off to Baldwin, though, who goes up the middle. And that's interesting because Fernandez is a freshman, but it looks like he will come off now.
Maybe Rogers is getting looked at.
He's back. Roger just came back on the field, so maybe it was just a one-play type thing. But that was interesting.
maybe his helmet popped off. I don't know. Or they're trying to throw off his Raiders defense.
I don't know, but that was a good catch. So the refs take a my time there to sort out something with Baldwin.
Maybe like equipment issue.
Yeah. So Rogers is back in there. Sam Fernandez, the freshman, came in for one play and just handed it off to Baldwin, so he didn't really do much with the ball. Now Rogers is back out there. So
yeah, this is big for both teams.
Oh, yeah, 1st and goal here. The give is to Baldwin. He gets tackled up that. Oh, bounces away from one and gets maybe a yard on the play, but I thought he was going to get taken down in the backfield. Either way, good job by the Raiders defense to keep him in check.
Overall, the Raiders have been able to get they've played solid defense. They've just given up some big plays here and there. And, I mean, that's why they're in this situation. It was a 4th and long, and they got a big run or a short pass.
So that'll bring up 2nd and goal here for the Pioneers. Rogers, looks like there's some Patriot fans on this side as well. Rogers is going to give it to Baldwin again, up the middle. And he's going to be short of the goal line. So a 3rd down coming up here for the Pioneers.
And I have to think it's 4-down territory right here, so you have 2 more downs. And I believe they're at I believe you said the 4-yard line, 3-yard line. So, but again, who knows? They might go for the field goal. As this game has just so far, it looks like it might be low scoring. So
already has the makings of a defensive battle here. Rogers takes a snap. Ooh, a little pitch out to Baldwin. I like that, but he gets stopped.
Jovan Jackson with the stop. Beautiful tackle.
So 4th and goal here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. Really just got his 1 foot, but able to make a great tackle on the edge. And if Jackson didn't make that tackle, I think
he might, he might have gotten in.
It looks like they're going to go for it.
So they are keeping the offense on the field.
So let's see if they go with a pass here, because they've tried to run multiple times. Maybe a couple of motions, some window dressing to mess with this Raiders defense.
Rogers takes the snap. It's going to be a give to Baldwin again up the middle, and he's going to be stopped by this Raider defense. Another 4-and-out turnover on downs.
Yeah, so this Raiders defense, they've given up some big plays, and they've been in some tough situations, but they've stayed strong and asking for some support from their offense, but they'll be backed up. Looks like Reeves is out there again.
So they will be on their own about 2.5-yard line.
And as you said, Baldwin's averaging over 5 yards per carry, and he has not been close to that average.
So Reeves is in the shotgun here. He takes the snap, looking downfield, throws it deep down the field into single coverage. He's got a man, and just a little out of the reach there. Looks like he was trying to get the ball to Reese.
Yeah, and early in this game, as we talked about, they're going after Jonathan Prempe, who, again, he's a very good cover corner. He's able to stick with this man, but he is undersized in this ball game. And it looks like he's been matched up on Elijah Reese, who is a pretty big wide receiver and who is a successful wide receiver. He led the whole region in receptions this past season.
And they've been getting him in single coverage, which I think they want, obviously, like you said, against Prempa. Just not able to get connected, and he's lined up with him again on that far side.
And they're bringing the pressure because they're so backed up.
And now he's going to give it off to his running back. Oh, that's right on the goal line. And it's going to stay Stonewall ball, but wow, that was close on the goal line.
And they need some yards here because you don't want to
have to punt, or go for it, which we probably won't go for it this deep, but yes. But this is a critical 3rd down play here for the Raiders.
And I've been trying to spot Jung on the sideline, and I finally spot him. He's not throwing or anything. I'm just trying to see if they'll make a move and when they'll make a move.
So Reese in the shotgun again. He's looking downfield, looking for his receiver, overthrown. That time he was trying to connect with Williams.
It looked like he had Jovan Jackson underneath, and he's had single coverage a couple times, and I think he's just missed his guy, and that's why I think they might make the move to Jung soon because he's the better thrower of the two.
Right.
Of course, he's not as athletic as Reeves. So Jackson will be backed up deep. Let's see if the Pioneers come after him, and then Stroman obviously has a great opportunity.
Oh, yeah. This is a dangerous situation to be in if you're the Raiders, because if you don't get a good punt off, Stroman can make you pay for that. And it's another just light, just wobbly kick. Gets a, I don't even want to call that a stonewall bounce past the 30.
It did get it was a stonewall bounce.
Well, for what it was, I guess, yes, it was a stonewall bounce.
It went from very bad to less bad.
So maybe it seems that's the second time that's happened. Maybe they're just doing that so they don't give Stroman a chance to return it. Is that?
I could see that you would do that, but just the way it seems it's just going off the side of his foot. It doesn't seem like his intent is so. But their defense has made stands, so it may be working in their favor right now.
So far.
And Stroman, he had that deep catch, but he hasn't been targeted at all since then. He'll be at the bottom of your screen.
And he's on man-to-man coverage there on the near side there, but they're going to give it to Baldwin up the middle. And again, he stopped for minimal gain. And Sean Murphy was in there on the tackle, the first time we've called his name tonight.
And you'll be calling. We talked about how highly ranked he is, but you will call his name less than you might think, but that's not a result of how talented he is.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm sure he's in on a lot of plays. We just don't call his name out. Absolutely.
And that's a big reason why Shane Eller has been able to have such a good season in his freshman year.
So that's going to be into the first quarter. Still scoreless. We're going to take a break here. Catch our breaths. We'll be back for more live from Stonewall right after this.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto offers extraordinary and friendly service with no appointment necessary. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your local recall headquarters and offers free recall checks. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your one-stop to help keep your vehicle running smoothly. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today. No appointment needed. There are 3 locations in Manassas at 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back, folks. We are live from Stonewall Jackson High School tonight for Patriot Senior Night. And if you're just joining us, they did have to change the game over here to Stonewall. Patriot facilities were having some power issues because of the weather that happened last night on Halloween. So we are live to you from Stonewall tonight. Scoreless now going into the second quarter. We switch fields as the Pioneers now going right to left on your screen. Cody Rogers takes a snap, looking downfield for Stroman, and he is open, tries to make the catch over his shoulder, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, and he had Stroman, he just underthrew him. They set him in motion, put him on a wheel route, and he beat his man. It was Reeves, but again, Reeves is extremely fast. He was able to recover, and he made a good play, but it was a little bit underthrown. He might have scored.
So at the first play of the second quarter, Pioneers go big. And we were just talking about how Stroman, after that one big play in the first, really wasn't targeted. And first thing they do here in the second quarter is try and get him deep.
And let's see if they try and get half of this to make it a more manageable fourth down, because you got to think they'll go for it.
It is 3rd and 9. Trying to get the Raiders off defense to jump there. They've done it successfully once already. Now Rogers is going to look to the sideline. Coach Finnerty get a different call.
And watch for the blitz on the end by number 4, Xander Albia. He just did a signal to one of his teammates. No, he backs off.
He's going to double coverage Stroman. Rogers has to get away from the blitz. Tosses it out, looking for Baldwin. Not there. So now a pivotal fourth down coming up for the Pioneers.
Yeah, and I believe Albia was going to blitz, and then he made a signal after the audible by Patriot, backed off. And it was just good coverage, and they still were able to get some pressure with Murphy and Williams. Big fourth down.
And the Pioneers offense once again will stay on the field as Rogers gets the call from coach.
And as this game progresses, you really need to watch how the interior offensive line, the center, and the guards do against Williams because they are undersized.
Rogers in the shotgun again. Now he's going to look to throw. He's going to dump it off to Baldwin, who gets the grab, but not enough for the first down, and it's going to be another turnover on downs for this Pioneers team.
And a beautiful read by Tyleik Williams because it was a screen pass, and the offensive lineman just let you go. He read that. And a couple other guys, Murphy and Albia, we keep calling their names. They read it as well. Baldwin was able to make the catch, but not able to get the first down. Another huge stop.
So that'll bring a 1st and 10 for the Raiders here on their own about, we'll say, 27-yard line. And Reeves is still out there at quarterback for the Raiders.
Let's see if they go like a quick screenplay to Reese, who's matched up with Prempe again, see if he can break a tackle. Because he doesn't have any help right now.
And there's the snap that gives going to be at Albia, who goes right up the middle, gets a couple. But for both teams tonight, that middle of the field has really been hard to get through. And we saw that a couple weeks ago when we were here for Stonewall and Battlefield, when Battlefield pretty much ran the ball every single play. And Stonewall was able to clog up that middle of the field. They were packing 8 and 7 guys up there.
And I think, as I said, who can get that running game, that's who's going to have the advantage early. But now it's going to be with that passing game that will open up that running game. Who can get in a rhythm there?
The fake to Albia. There's that screen you were talking about, Colin. Over to Coates that time. And he was able to get a couple yards there. Quick scoring update from around the county. Freedom up 21-7 over Garfield. And that's funny. We were talking about that game with our colleague from Inside Nova, whether that game was going to be competitive or not. So far, Freedom has dominated.
That's 2 playoff teams right there and a very good season.
Oh, yeah.
Very good season by Garfield. And I don't think many people expected that, but they are very improved.
Reeves takes a snap now, rolls out to his right, looking downfield. He's got a man. That's a catch by Williams.
I believe he's got the first down.
It's going to be close, but I think he does have enough. They do spot the ball ahead of that first down marker. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
And Khalid Williams, he has offers from D1 schools like Central Michigan. He's very fast. He's also on the track team. He's a very fast player, and you have to respect that speed, him going down the field on a comeback route. He's able to get the first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Coming down to about 10.5 left in this first half. Thank you for joining us here. Prince William Sports and Entertainment along with Inside Nova tonight. And there's the snap, and it's going to be a gift to Albia, who tries to get up the middle there. And he hesitated. It almost looked like he was going to maybe do a little flea flicker. Back to Reeves. Okay, and we just got an update here for the Raiders there, just as you kind of alluded to there, Colin, early in the pregame. Young, the quarterback, is going to be out tonight with that injury that you might have mentioned there with the ankle, so he's not going to play at all. So there was obviously a reason why he was not even taking any practice throws on the sideline.
And maybe a little bit of mind games they were playing with Patriot. I mean, he suited up and everything. He was warming up, so maybe they were trying to mess with him a little bit.
So Reeves is going to probably be the stone when he tossed it over the middle there, and it was tipped by the Pioneers. That was a dangerous play, but good defense there.
It looks like he had a couple guys. He had Rayshawn Coates. He ran a 5-yard out, and he might have been able to hit Williams down the field, but it was tipped.
So,
but again, Reeves is going to have to be able to complete some passes because they don't have Jung, who has been their quarterback, who was their only quarterback last season.
Yeah, and that's the comparison that we made in the Battlefield game, was that he was more of their pocket presence, able to throw the ball in the pocket more, where Reeves is the one who would be able to move outside a little bit and create those problems for your defense. So now they kind of get one-dimensional. Well, not one-dimensional, but like you said, the accuracy isn't there. So that's a timeout by the Raiders here. And we will take 1-2 to catch our breath. We'll be right back for more after this from Stonewall.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto, located in Manassas, offers everyday repair service and maintenance for all makes and model cars, SUVs, and trucks. A lot more than just an oil change and new tires. From the works, our signature oil change with a complete multi-point inspection, to brake and battery replacements, to a full selection of 13 major tire brands, backed by our low-price tire guarantee. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. 3 locations in Manassas, 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back. And again, we appreciate you, if you're watching the game, joining us here on Prince William Sports and Entertainment. And interesting thing that we got to talk to one of the Stonewall staff earlier is that they're really trying hard to create a Hall of Fame kind of program, I guess, for their past athletic people. They're really trying to get that started here at Stonewall, and rightly so. I mean, they have such a history of athletes at this school dating back, decades ago. So really hope that they can get that going, and they have great ideas out there that they're trying to get pushed forward. Reeves is going to take the snap here on 3rd down. He's going to use his legs up, trying to get up to the 45, gets tackled at the 43.
Let's see if they go. Nope, they're going to punt it.
And it looks like like you said, they are bringing out the punt team here on 4th and 11. Just a little bit. Well, not 4th and 11. It's about a 4th and 5 or so.
So let's see how this punt goes with Jovan Jackson.
Let's see what they do again.
And it looks a little bit like Stroman has creeped up. Now he's backing up a little bit, but let's see if he moves up a little bit.
He's right now lined up at his own 28. And this time it's going to be a little bit of a higher punt, but still short. Bounces out of bounds. At about the 32-yard line is where the ref will spot it. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
But, I mean, that was a way better punt than they previously had, and you got to feel confidence with this Raiders defense. They've been, and I believe the Pioneers have been in the red zone in both of their possessions, or in all of their possessions, or at least inside the 30.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. They've had great field position for all of those possessions.
And this is solid field position as well.
Absolutely.
It's just not as.
So 1st and 10 here for the Pioneers. Rogers in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Ooh, direct quarterback keeper there. Trying to find some room to the outside. He gets out to the 40 and steps out of bounds.
You see he was able to find a little bit of space, but still only get minimal gain. And that just shows how good these run defenses have been.
So they're going to give him about 6 on the play. So it'll be a 2nd and 4 coming up here. About 8.5 left in this first half. Still scoreless here. I don't know if I expected it to be scoreless going into this part of this game, but nonetheless, waiting for one team to break it open first.
Yeah, and Patriot's been able to move the ball a little bit, and Stonewall has not.
And Rogers is going to keep it again. Did a nice fake to Baldwin there.
Yeah, I was following Baldwin that play.
It's going to be close to the 1st down. Let's see where they spot him. And it looks like they will give him the 1st down. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
And again, they really look to run the ball. So for both teams look to do that. So again, it's just that run defense on both sides of the ball. Who can stand up?
So 1st and 10 again for the Pioneers. And they will have it with Rogers taking the snap there. The give's going to be the Baldwin up the middle, still on his feet, keeps those legs moving. And that was a good run there by Baldwin, starting to get through those tackles a little bit there. 2nd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a just rhythm here with their offense.
Speaking of Baldwin, looking forward to halftime, ahead to halftime just a little bit. Joel was able to catch up with him earlier this week, and also Stonewall's Elijah Reese, so we will have those interviews for you at halftime. And, of course, any other halftime festivities that are on the docket, we will get those to you as well. There's a snap by Rogers. Baldwin again, and there's another good run by Baldwin for the first down and more.
And he's showing how quick and fast he is. He just bursts through that hole. And you got to get penetration on him quick. You can't let him get that burst of speed. Again, a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah. So another Patriot first down here brings up 1st and 10.
So let's see if Stonewall creeps up even a little bit more and they take a shot to that guy like Stroman or Settle.
And they have now crossed midfield. They're at the Stonewall 39 for this 1st and 10. And Stroman is down here on the near side in single coverage. And the refs have a stoppage of play here. It's going to be a timeout by the Pioneers, and we'll take one too. Be back for more right after this. This is Prince William Sports and Entertainment.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto offers extraordinary and friendly service with no appointment necessary. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your local recall headquarters and offers free recall checks. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your one-stop to help keep your vehicle running smoothly. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. There are 3 locations in Manassas at 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back, folks.
What's up, Houston? What's up? What's up, Houston? What's up, Houston?
We are back here. 6:47 left to play in this first half. And the Pioneers have a first down after that timeout.
So let's see if the Raiders can stop this Pioneer momentum a little bit, or if Pioneers can keep it going, maybe get a score.
Rogers in the shotgun again. He fakes it to Baldwin. Looking for Stroman. Now has to run around with his legs. Now he's looking downfield again. He's got Stroman in the end zone, but it's underthrown. Did he make the catch? No call yet. Touchdown. Pioneers. Jalen Stroman for the 39-yard touchdown catch.
And Coach Walker for the Raiders is very upset with the ref. And he's going to get a flag, I believe. And Rogers has shown to his advantage and disadvantage. He's not afraid to sling it. And it was obviously to his advantage right there. 6-0 Patriots.
So unsportsmanlike called on.
Or 6-0 Pioneers.
So unsportsmanlike conduct called at the end of that play on the Raiders. So that'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, I believe it's on Coach Walker, head coach for the Stonewall Jackson Raiders.
I have no idea what that unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now it's on Pioneers.
So it's offsetting. Flag.
Only the refs had
Okay,
mics.
yeah. Not quite sure what that was. But anyways, 6-0 is your score, pending the extra point here. Hold is good. Kick is up, but it's blocked by the Raiders. No good. So a great block there. Who was that on the block? I see Eller running towards the field, so he was definitely in on it.
Yeah, I thought it was multiple guys who got penetration.
And so after that block, it's still 6-0 Pioneers.
And it looks like Xander Albia and Khalid Shabazz Williams will be back. And Khalid is a very dangerous returner. And their only loss this year, he returned it nearly all the way and had a fumble, but that just shows his return ability. And never mind, it's not Albia, it's Williams is the lone man.
Oh, yeah. And this is the first time the Pioneers have had to kick off in this game, because they did receive the first half kickoff, and nobody else since then has actually done a kickoff.
And they haven't punted either.
That's right. So this is the first time that the Pioneers are actually kicking the ball, and here comes the unsportsmanlike yardage. So now they'll kick from the Raider 35, and depending on how well this is kicked, might not even have a chance for Williams to return it.
And watch out for an onside as well. And if I'm Stonewall, I'm watching for that. I'm having my hands team out there. With the Pioneers have to have confidence in their defense right now, and even if they don't get it, the Raiders haven't really been able to move the ball, and they won't have that good of field position. As Coach Walker signals his guys to move up.
Yep. So let's see what the Pioneers decide to do here. And it's actually going to be a line drive kick into the back of the end zone, touchback for the Raiders.
And it's right on the pylon marker perfectly.
Raider football, the 20-yard line to take possession.
So now the Raiders have a chance to respond, but like you said, Colin, they've had issues getting it down the field so far in this game.
And they just need a little bit of a spark. Need to get it to one of their playmakers. Albia's been stopped just due to Patriots penetration, and that's the one big question mark with this Raiders offense is their offensive line, and that's really the only question mark I believe they have of every element, and maybe their punter now. But
so they are going to set up shop here at their own 20 after the touchback. Reese is in the shotgun there, sends Williams in motion, and it's going to be blown dead at the line. False start on the Raiders.
False start charge for the Raiders. 5-yard penalty limit.
And Joe Vaughn Jackson has played quarterback in the past, so maybe look for him to play quarterback at some point in this game.
So now it'll be a 1st and 15 for the Raiders instead after the false start. 6:34 left to play in this first half.
But if the Raiders can get a score, they get the ball.
That's right, yep.
And Patriots not really respecting this passing game. I mean, their safety's only a couple yards behind their running backs.
And it's going to be a fake to Albia. The screen out there to the left side has got some room up to the 20. Still on his feet to the 30. First down territory. Let's see where they spot it. I believe he definitely had enough before he stepped out of bounds.
It appears he's a little short. Or never mind.
Yeah, no, they don't. He is a yard short.
It was 1st and 15, so a pretty big gain.
So now it'll be a 2nd and short for the Raiders here. Clock will start up again. Or no, he stepped out of bounds. Sorry, so the clock will not start.
But again, they go with that screenplay because these Patriot corners are playing off a little bit because these guys have speed for the Raiders.
And there's the snap. It's going to be Albia. Missed tackle behind the line. And he's going to power forward and actually get the first down this time. So 1st and 10, Raiders.
And look for when they run the ball, look for them to follow number 55, Tyleek Williams, because he's definitely their best offensive lineman. Along with him, as well, Francisco Renteria. And those are their two best offensive linemen, the two tackles. And they've had some snapping issues throughout the season.
Yep, that's very true. We saw that in the Battlefield game. So 1st and 10 here. Refs blow dead again.
I believe it's on the defense.
It is. It's going to be encroachment on the Pioneers, so that'll now give the Raiders 5 extra yards. So a 1st and 5. And that keeps the clock stopped. Or no, now it starts up again after the penalty, excuse me.
And ideally for the Raiders, they want to get a touchdown, and they also want to run down this clock so Patriot doesn't have another chance, so they basically get 2 possessions, or they will get 2 possessions in a row.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You don't want to give this Pioneers team too much time.
And that that blocked extra point could be huge.
And Reese is going to fake it to Albia, now has to keep it himself. Gets down to the 30 or the 41-yard line. So a 2nd and short coming up here for the Raiders.
And the Raiders getting a little bit of a rhythm here as well.
Getting down to about 5 minutes left in this first half. Again, are here live at Stonewall, Prince William Sports and Entertainment. Got a good one here so far, 6-0. Pioneers, the lone scoring team. Earlier in the second quarter, the give is to Albia, trying to get to that first down marker, and he's going to be stopped short by that Pioneers defense. So it'll be a 3rd and short again here coming up for the Raiders. So this is a crucial 3rd and short here for the Raiders here to keep this drive alive.
And it may not be 4-down territory because they just gave up a score. And let's see who they go to. Albia hasn't been able to get too much room, so let's see what they go with here. The corners are still backing off a little bit. I would expect them to press here. Number 7 comes in with the blitz.
Oh, God, yeah, Reeves had to run away from him up to the 40. He gets the first down, still on his feet to the 50. Cuts it inside to the 40. He's still going 30. Turns on the Jets. Down to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Stonewall Raiders on the feet of
Deshaun
Reeves. Mixing up my Reese's and Reeves there. Deshaun Reeves with the touchdown.
And again, we talked about his speed.
There it was.
And then Joey Lacey came off the edge. He's their leading tackler. He's their middle linebacker. And once he came on that blitz, he was able to escape him. He had a bunch of space, but there's a flag.
Oh, man, holding on the offense. So my great touchdown call is wasted on that one. Man, and that is just, that has to, that's just a drive killer right there with that.
And this whole coaching staff for the Raiders.
Oh gosh, they were ecstatic.
Yeah, they do not agree with this call at all. But it appears that it's down the field, so it's not going to be. It's still going to be a 3rd and 4. It looks like.
Yeah, they're going to keep it there. So still manageable for them to at least convert here.
But that's two plays that Coach Walker and this coaching staff has really not been happy with the reffing in this game. And again, that's a big play if they can't get this first.
They gave this to Albia this time, who cuts it outside. Now he misses some tackles, gets the first down. So saves the first down, but...
And there's another flag, and it's going to be on the offense.
Another flag coming out here. And it looks like it's going to be holding again on the offense, and I think I saw where it was.
And these penalties killing them right now. They've been able to move the ball as well.
Yeah, especially on this drive, like you said, they've been able to move the ball a little bit more efficiently, but now the penalties killing it. So now instead of a 3rd and short, it's a 3rd and long for this Raiders offense.
They do have some explosive guys, so as we just saw, so let's see what they have up their sleeve. And the Pioneers can get a stop here. They have time to put up another score.
But that play that play that Reeves had, I mean, that's a rare play. That doesn't happen every drive. So for that to get called back, first of all, is pretty harsh on this offense here. So Reeves is going to be in the shotgun, and now Stonewall's going to take a timeout. And they want to talk things over. We'll keep it here.
And it looks like they had man coverage yet again. Again, the corners were backing up, especially this time, but they might have man coverage again. So let's see if the Raiders recognize that, and maybe they're going to go to Reese, who's matched up with Jonathan Prempe.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what Coach Walker wants to talk things over here. Is he might have seen that and wanted just to have a quick chat in regards to that. So again, like we said, coming up at halftime, we'll have your festivities brought to you by the Patriot band and dance team, I believe. And then also, like I said, we'll have 2 interviews for you from each team. Elijah Reese from Stonewall and Tim Baldwin from the Pioneers. So we look forward to that for you at halftime.
And a Joel Andrews haircut, I hear.
Yeah, he did.
So let's try and spot. Yep. Elijah Reese, Jonathan Prempe at the top, but it looks like they have some safety help, and they do.
And yeah, but Reeves is going to step back. He's going to have to step up in the pocket, and he gets sacked down behind the line. And did the ball come out? The ball is out, but was Reeves able to cover it up? He was, but still, that's going to bring up a 4th and long, and no choice but to punt here for this Raider team. And like you said, Colin, they're going to get at least 2 minutes of play here, and depending on how this ball is punted,
and they've had some trouble.
They might have, they might have the Pioneers might have good field position here.
They look, I mean, I think they'll have good, pretty much no matter what, even if it is a good punt, because this is a tough situation for Jackson.
And it's a low snap. He has to get it under control. It's a high punt. Returned at the 45, and Stroman's on his feet in a rhythm there up to the 20, and tackled out of bounds, barreling forward to the 19, and they move him up there.
And the punt defense there, they just fell asleep. I think they thought he was going to go for a fair catch, and
instead he caught it in stride and was off to the races there. So not only do they get the ball back with plenty of time,
and I think Coach Walker and his staff, along with the Stonewall players, are disputing that he did call a fair catch.
So this will start the Pioneers at the Stonewall 19 here, 1st and 10. And plenty of time for this Pioneers deep offense to put some points on the board. The give is to Baldwin. He's still on his feet up to the 10. Finally tackled down, but not before he gets to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Pioneers here, and plenty of time.
And all the momentum is with the Pioneers right now. It looks like the Raiders might go down, or did have a score, but then a call came back. I didn't really see anything on that, but again, I'm not wearing the striped uniforms. You got to respect the call. And they weren't able to. And then another penalty, and it looks like the Pioneers are about to score.
Give us the Baldwin up the middle. Did he make it? I think he's going to be just short.
And that might work in the Pioneers' favor.
Because they keep the clock going, yep.
But they're going right up to the line.
Oh, yeah. They want to be able to punch this ball in.
And it's trips, and nobody's covering one of the wide receivers.
So instead, Rogers is going to take it himself. No, doesn't get touched. Touchdown, Pioneers. So the 1-yard run by Rogers. And the Pioneers go up 12-0 here late in this first half. And they're going to take a timeout to talk things over. They might be talking 2-point conversion here instead of the extra point. So we'll see what Coach Finnerty decides to dial up.
And the dominant Raiders defense has not looked too dominant these last two plays. Or these last two possessions, rather.
Yeah. So definitely they want to talk things over here because, like we said, that blocked extra point, you don't want that to come back and haunt you with 2 minutes left in the game. We actually saw that happen sort of last week with Garfield and Forest Park, because I believe one of them missed an extra point, and the final was 21-18 because Garfield had to come back and win that game, and that extra point that Forest Park missed came into play later in the game. So it does happen, and it does affect you.
Especially in high school football.
And we've also got some snapping work down there. Looks like number 88 there for the Raiders is taking some snaps. And he is their long snapper, Quentin Waddy. And they are going to go for 2 here, are the Pioneers. You know, they did have the snapping issues a couple weeks ago when we were here for the Battlefield game. They had a lot of bad snaps.
And Coach Walker continues to just have some unpleasant conversations with the referees.
So Pioneers go for 2 here. The give is to Baldwin. He's going to try to barrel forward, and he does get in. 2-point conversion by the Pioneers and Tim Baldwin Jr., and now that makes your score 14-0. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, come back and finish up this first half right after this from Stonewall.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto, located in Manassas, offers everyday repair service and maintenance for all makes and model cars, SUVs, and trucks. A lot more than just an oil change and new tires. From the works, our signature oil change with a complete multi-point inspection, to brake and battery replacements, to a full selection of 13 major tire brands, backed by our low-price tire guarantee. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. 3 locations in Manassas, 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back. Pioneers go up 14-0 after that 2-point conversion by Tim Baldwin, and they are now all set to kick off. It's a line drive kick. Bounces down forward and into the end zone. Williams is going to let it go into the end zone and take the touchback. So if you're the Raiders here, what do you have to do to respond? I mean, you do get the ball in the second half, but you got a little over 1.5 minutes to go. I would think you're trying to at least get some sort of response here before the end of the half.
Definitely, and you get the ball, and yeah, I mean, you have to try and score here to stay in this game because all the momentum is with the Patriot Pioneers right now. But look for them to throw the ball down the field. They come out in an empty set.
Yep.
Look for a quarterback draw as well.
Sean Reeves back there for the Pioneers, and he's going to push up the pocket, and he does try and keep it himself, but tackled down by the Pioneers. So Brandon Simmons for the Pioneers is going to take him down, and that keeps the clock rolling here, getting closer to about 1 minute left here in this first half. And I really think it's actually hurting the Raiders that their other quarterback, Jung, is not able to come in at all to give them some. So I do think that's coming into play a lot here. But nonetheless, Reeves is an empty backfield again, takes the snap. Now he's going to look to do a quick pass out to the outside to Albia. Did he get out of bounds, though? And he's going to stay in bounds, so the clock continues to run here, going down on 40 seconds and counting left in this first half.
Yeah, and just as you're saying, as this game is progressing, it seems a game more fit for Tavil Jung. So, I mean, yeah, they really miss him right now. And if Jung was in, they could use Reeves in other ways.
That's right. That's right. So a wide 5-receiver set again here for the Raiders. Reeves takes the snap. He's got a man out there for the screen. Instead, he's going to look downfield. He does have a man there, but low throw to Williams and could not complete it. So incomplete. He had Coates here just kind of out in the screen, but I think he didn't want to make that play because there were a lot of Pioneers around him there. But nonetheless, a fourth down in 10 seconds left.
They're going to have to punt him with 10 seconds.
Yeah, they are.
So big play here.
Oh, yeah.
Stroman can do something. And he's been the star player so far. Him and Baldwin. And there hasn't really been any star players on the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders.
So Stroman is back to return. He's back.
Oh, that's
a nice high punt, and Stroman's going to let it bounce. Gets an okay Stonewall bounce down to the 30. And that's going to do it for your first half here from Stonewall. Your score at halftime, Patriot Pioneers 14, Stonewall Jackson Raiders nothing. We will take a quick commercial break, and then we will come back for your halftime festivities here from Stonewall.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto offers extraordinary and friendly service with no appointment necessary. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your local recall headquarters and offers free recall checks. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your one-stop to help keep your vehicle running smoothly. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. There are 3 locations in Manassas at 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
All right, so we're going to get ready for this second half. And I will let you take it from here, Mr. Collin.
Yeah, so the start of the second half, we'll have Kevin Melendez, number 19, senior. Or, apologies, number 10, Michael Cotter, I believe, to kick it for the Pioneers. Williams back deep to receive. And this may be the first opportunity for Williams to do something in the kicking game.
Yeah, definitely. Because now they actually are kicking off from the 40, which is where they're supposed to be. The past couple of kickoffs, they've had the penalties being applied on the kickoff return. So it will be interesting to see if Williams is able to get a return off of this one.
And it's Reese who picks it up after it was tipped off his fingers. It was kind of a squib. It was basically just a line drive right to him. And I believe he returns it to the 26-yard line. He might have hurt his ankle there. A little bit of a hop in his step, but it looks like he's going to stay out there. And Deshaun Reeves, obviously, onto the field, 26-yard line, Stonewall Jackson Raiders football.
Yeah, that was an interesting return. He kind of just stopped the ball in its tracks and...
Yeah, it looked like a Steven Strasburg fastball that we... Again, Reeves in the shotgun with Albia. Split to behind him, but to his left. In motion comes Rayshawn Coates. Oh! And a really good fake, and it was nearly intercepted. I couldn't quite get the number. But, yeah, I thought it was in Xander Albia's hands, but he was dropping back the pass, and it was tipped and nearly intercepted. I believe it was number 2, Bryce Jackson, who tipped it. And then Elijah Reese, number 9, tried to dive and make that catch. It would be 2nd down and 10 from the Raiders' 27-yard line.
Yeah, that was an interesting play right there. Almost picked off. But then again, almost caught as well off the tip. So it could have gone either way, but it goes incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. 2 wide receivers to the left. Here comes Coates in motion. And the snap, and it's a quarterback design run, and he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Number 7, Joey Lacey. It looks like Bryce Jackson was also there in the backfield, and we haven't talked about Lacey much, but he is an impact player.
Oh, yeah.
And he stopped at the 19-yard line, 3rd and long, and not a good start for this Raiders offense.
Yeah, Lacey gets back there quick, and like you said, Jackson was back there too on the rush, and Lacey was able to tackle the legs of Deshaun Reeves there, and that was just a great tackle behind the line there to stop this Raiders offense.
So let's see what the Raiders have. Play calling lines. Let's see what Coach Walker calls here. Reeves, quarterback position, albeit to his right. In the snap, he rolls out to his right. Here comes some pressure, and there might be an offsides.
Yeah, they blew that dead pretty quickly, so it has to be some sort of penalty at the line of scrimmage.
And it's a false start on the Raiders. That will move them back even more. And referee's marking the ball at the 15-yard line, so that would be a 3rd down, and they have to get to the
21, 3rd and 21.
So not a ideal situation for you starting out. Not the start these Raiders wanted.
Yeah, and the penalties already affecting them early on in this second half, creating a much less manageable 3rd down here. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Walker here calls on a 3rd and 21.
He's got some space, does Reeves after the snap, and he went with a draw. It was designed. He looked like a counter, and he was able to get tripped up. Set up a 4th down, and I believe at the 25-yard line. So they don't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. They'll have to punt. And again, a big story here was the punting game for the Stonewall Jackson Raiders.
Yeah, and just really know where to go. He didn't do a nice break there to try and find some room, but just really know where to go for that, and this brings up the 4th down.
And a decent snap and a high punt, medium in length, and it bounces out of bounds around the 48-yard line. So good field position yet again for the Patriot Pioneers. On the plus side, Stroman did not get an opportunity to return it there. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Cody Rogers in this Pioneers offense.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, up 14-0 here. The Pioneers can do basically whatever they want with the ball as far as the play calling. The run has gotten better for them over the course of this game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them just continue to run the ball with Baldwin We'll certainly see what they do here.
And Rogers in the shotgun, and as we've seen many times, trips left. Of course, Baldwin in the backfield with him. And it's the give to Baldwin, and he's able to push forward for about, I want to say, 3 yards. And mistake on my part, I said it landed out of bounds at the 48. It was actually the 40-yard line, and it'll be marked down at the 37-yard line. So 3-yard gain there, 2nd and 7. And I believe we got a timeout. Or the ref signaling to run the clock.
Yeah.
So again, 2nd and 7 for the Patriot Pioneers, and a big, big possession for both teams.
Oh, absolutely. The Raiders they need to stop the Pioneers at all costs here.
And you got to think they're zoning in on that run.
They have to be, yeah.
Oh, in the snap, it's number 12.
Yeah, Fernandez is back in there.
And, yeah, he turned the wrong way.
No,
Him and his running back weren't on the same page. And, again, they switched the quarterbacks there. Don't quite know why. Maybe to give Rogers a breather, gave the Raiders a different look. But, yeah, it does not turn in. I mean, they're able to only lose. Or I think they're able to get back to where they originally were.
Yeah, it's still 3rd and 7, so they just no gain. But, yeah, he thought Baldwin was going to go the other way, and Baldwin's going to the – so just a little miscommunication there, but at least it didn't turn into anything worse than that.
So 3rd and 7. Baldwin to his left, trips left. Here comes the blitz, and he's able to find some room. Still looking to pass it, and he'll just throw it out of bounds, incomplete.
And there was nobody there again. This is the second time that Rogers has intentionally grounded the ball there. Nobody in the receiving path of that ball. So another intentional grounding, loss of down, going to bring up 4th down again.
And, yeah, Baldwin was kind of in the area, but I guess not enough for the ref to not throw that flag, and that might take away the any 4-down ideas for this Patriot Pioneers offense.
So just interesting there. It looks like Rogers just kind of gets a little discombobulated sometimes when he's forced out of the pocket there when he's trying to look downfield, because that was the second time he's done that intentional grounding tonight. And this is the first time we've seen.
Yeah, and I believe it's Williams back there to return. And a high punt, but it's blown dead. Right into the hands. And a mistake on my part, Deshaun Reeves is back there to return. Quarterback and safety for the Raiders.
Let's see what the call is, because it was blown pretty quickly after he kicked the ball. So it might be some sort of line of scrimmage penalty.
It's against the Raiders.
Oh, too many men on the field.
So
still 4th down, but gives them a little bit more pushback there, room to punt the ball.
Again, Carter's back there to punt. And let's see if Reeves can do something with this as they continue in the punt formation. And it looks like another infraction. It might be on the Raiders yet again.
That time they didn't even get the kickoff.
And
punt off, excuse me.
This coaching staff for the Raiders, if it's on them again, I think they're not too happy. Let's just put it that way.
They have not been happy all night with this. And it is, oh no, it's going to be a false start on the Pioneers. So
basically just a reset.
Yep.
And the crowd is having a little bit of fun with this as well. So again, Carter back to punt. Reeves to return if we, in fact,
get yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
On the original punt, it was very high, which doesn't give the punt returner much chance.
Third time's the charm, right?
Let's see. And it's not as high as it was last time. And he mussed it a little bit. He's able to get it, does Reeves. It looked like it went through his hands, and he juggled it even a little bit more. Was able to get it, return it to about the 15-yard line. So not good field position yet again for this Raiders offense. And their offense hasn't been able to get rolling, but they haven't had good field position as well. What do they need? What is the formula to get going in this football game?
At this point, it's really hard for me to pinpoint something. I mean, obviously they've been really trying to get the run game going with Albia. Hasn't worked the way they really wanted it to. And then when they try and let Reeves pass it, the pressure is there by the Pioneers, and he's getting away from the pressure. But when he does throw the ball, it's just not. They're just not getting completions off from Reeves to his receivers. So, really, if they can get some completions here, maybe that boosts Reeves' confidence a little bit. But so far, really, just them trying to just continue to move the ball and get first downs is really what they need to try and do.
And it looks like Jonathan Prempe is still matched up man-to-man on Elijah Reese. He also has multiple offers, one coming from Georgetown. And it's a motion handoff to Williams, and he really can't find any room, and he gets lit up by number 7, Joey Lacey, or that might be number 2.
Yeah, that was Bryce Jackson.
Yeah, number 2, Bryce Jackson. So they're making some big hits, are these linebackers and safeties for the Patriot Pioneers. I believe he just went for no gain, and they try to do a little jet sweep to one of their playmakers, Khalid Williams, but to no avail.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good play call to try and sweep it around to the other side. But as we've seen many times this season, if those blockers are not prepared to block for that jet sweep play, it's not going to work out. And it looks like the Raiders there just couldn't get enough blocks to get him through.
Oh. He had a little high step there by Rashawn Coates, and they just passed it out into flat to him. And when they've passed the ball, it's been Rashawn Coates. And he is a transfer. He transferred here for his final year of high school, and he's been able to do some good things this year. But again, all the weapons this Raiders offense has, they hasn't been able to really get anything going. And now bring up a third and 5, I believe, maybe third and 4. Reeves is flanked by Albia to his left, 3 wide receivers to his left, and they bring the blitz, but there goes Reese, and we've been waiting for him to get going. He breaks a tackle, and that was Prempe, so maybe they're going to look to take advantage of that.
Yeah, maybe do some shorter routes. Just try and, like I said, try and get those completions. Give Reeves a little bit of confidence. It's not that he can't throw the ball. He has a good arm. But if you can do those little short plays to just get his accuracy a little bit more on target, make the completion like that, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I was going to say, yet another
penalty. Man. Oh. And just as I start to talk about the confidence for Reeves, you get a penalty like that, and now it's a 3rd and long instead of a 3rd
and this is really the same
down.
situation they had. I mean, same spot in the field, really. Actually, no, they're even deeper. They're at the 10-yard line, it looks like, maybe the 9.
Yeah. So it must have been, the holding must have been behind the.
Yeah, it had to be a holding. I didn't see anything there, but again, the refs saw something that warranted a penalty in their eyes. We got single coverage here with Reese, and they bring in the blitz, and he's able to escape, and he's got some room. Oh, and he gets tripped up at the 19-yard line by number 2.
No, that was Tim Baldwin on the tackle.
Baldwin. Yeah, Tim Baldwin.
Yeah, he can play defense.
And he's been one of the stars on offense, shows again on defense. Bryce Jackson, number 2, is also in the area, and he's been very effective. Jalen Stroman back to return, and just the same story for this Stonewall Jackson offense, and their defense needs to stand up for him yet again.
Yeah, it's really tough when you get good plays like that. And we get the train coming through. I knew it was going to happen at some point tonight. I was just waiting for it, and there it goes.
Here's the snap to Jackson, and it's a line drive punt. And Stroman returns it, and he'll get wrapped up. So some good punt defense there. Number 11, Khalid Shabazz Williams. And out comes the Patriot Pioneers offense and Cody Rogers at the 50-yard line.
So, yeah, another starting drive for the Pioneers on the 50 or closer. I mean, that's been the story of the night for them. They've been having great field position, and it really defines why the score is 14-0, because they've been able to push the ball forward and really get to the end zone, whether it's through the air or running the ball with Baldwin.
So 6:03 left in this third quarter as the train, as it usually does, interrupts our football game. Cody Rogers flanked by Baldwin to his left.
I like how they played Crazy Train there. That was good by this.
And a tackle by Sean Murphy.
There you go.
And he gets his defense going, trying to hype him up.
There you go.
And that's not an easy guy to tackle in Baldwin.
Yeah, he definitely was on top of that run from the start. And you can see why he is ranked where he is in his position, because that was a heads-up play there by Sean Murphy.
And you got to get credit to that D-line as well, clearing up a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Cardona, Tyleek Williams, 2 guys in there, along with Edwin Rivera. Cody Rogers with the snap, and it's a quarterback draw, and he gets tackled. I believe he was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He would get wrapped up before he could really get past that original line. So this defense, you got to give credit to this Raiders defense. They're keeping this team in it.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, they've been doing this for a lot of the night, and it really doesn't tell the story that the scoreboard is telling us. Yeah, they've given up some big plays, but they've also kept the Pioneers out of the end zone a lot of times and cutting their drive short. And especially in that first half, they had, 3 possessions where it was turnover on down. So, I mean, the defense has definitely been doing its part tonight.
Rogers rolls to his right, looks for a man. And it looks like he is Stroman for a completion. It will be a first down. He's able to get his feet in bounds at the 39-yard line. That will be 1st and 10, Patriot Pioneers. Big conversion on 3rd and long. And as we were talking about earlier with the playoff standings, these teams are at 4 and 5, so they could just wind up facing each other in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No matter the outcome of this game.
That's very possible. That's very possible. So this could be a prequel to a postseason matchup in a couple weeks. But that was a great catch by Stroman on the sideline there. Realizing where he was with the ball and got out of bounds for the first down.
And it's a run up the middle of Baldwin, but he isn't able to really get much, only a yard, maybe half a yard, as this run defense has really got back to what they were doing in the beginning of the game, stuffing that run.
But the only thing about this drive that is hurting the Raiders is the Pioneers are taking a lot of time off the clock.
And that's going to be you got to think that's what's going to be the mindset for this Pioneers
At
offense.
this point, absolutely.
Trips to the left for the Pioneers, and it's the handoff to Baldwin yet again, and he's only able to get, I believe, 3 yards, maybe 4. Brings up 3rd and 5 and maybe 4 down territory for the Pioneers.
That seems to be the mindset tonight for the Pioneers, is 4 down territory when they're on this side of the field, which they have been a lot of their offensive drives. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and go for it on a 4th and manageable situation.
And that's what you normally see from the 25 to 40-yard line in high school football.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the Adam Vinatieri's of the world.
That's very true. That is very true.
But who knows? Snap here, and he drops back. And it looks like it was caught. He kind of just threw it up there.
Flag comes out after the play.
And maybe a little bit of a scuffle. And let's see what this flag is for. It looks like a screenplay, and then he kind of just threw it up. Almost intercepted, falls right into the hands and of a receiver. And Raiders coaches are signaling on the Pioneers.
It was in the secondary.
An eligible man.
Yeah, interesting.
And he didn't release the ball fast enough, which resulted in that call.
Yeah. And if the catch had stood, it was Gabe Bigby who did make the catch, and it would have been a first down. And he doesn't have the big name the big star name that you see in like Stroman.
His last name is Bigby.
But he's been a quiet, really, really good asset to this Patriot offense this season. Because coming into this game, he actually has 4 receiving touchdowns and 419 yards receiving. So he's been a quiet asset to this Pioneers team, other than Stroman and
I believe he's a freshman.
Yeah.
But again, 3rd and 11, trips left. Baldwin flanking to Rogers' left, and we got a receiver to the right, and he rolls to his left. A little bit of pressure by Sean Murphy, and he's going to be brought down by Murphy as he tried to escape from him. He just held onto the ball there, Sean Murphy, and he's been the star of the second half for the Raiders. And he'll be brought down at the 49-yard line, maybe the 50, and they're brought back to where they started.
Yep. And that was another good heads-up play by Murphy there with the pressure. But also, let's not forget, great coverage downfield by this secondary. But so another holding call on the Pioneers, it looks like. So that'll set them back even more. As well, Stonewall declines it. But now this is an interesting situation that they decline the penalty because, well, it looks like they're going to send out the punt team anyway. I was going to say they might have still even gone for it because it was in good field position.
And your defense has been pretty much perfect so far besides that long run by Reeves, but it was called back.
Right, you're right. So
let's see if Reeves gets an opportunity, and you got to think this Raiders team needs a big play in the special teams, a big play in defense, something like that. And this is a high boot, and it'll be received by Reeves. He makes a nice cut, and he gets hit around the 22-yard line. Will be brought down by pretty much the whole Pioneers special teams.
Yeah, I was on him on that one.
But a good move, get a couple yards, and one of the best field positions, and it's pretty much just average field positions for the Raiders here.
Yeah, that's pretty much where they've been setting up shop all night, is right around that 20-yard line. And once again, it will just be interesting to see if they can really get this momentum. They really haven't had it all game, especially since that penalty that called back the touchdown. They really have not been able to get the momentum back in their favor.
They had it for that 5 seconds.
Exactly, yeah.
Snap by Reeves. He rolls to his left, looking downfield for Coach, but he overthrows him. He had a beat on number 2, Bryce Jackson. And when he's had a man, he's had a couple missed throws.
Yeah, and that's really what's killing him right now is just the arm is there. He can throw the distance, but it's just the accuracy that just has been plaguing him throughout this entire game. And I like what I see from Reeves because he can move around the pocket and he can extend the plays. And that's what they like to do with him.
But again, Reeves is, Jung. This is more of his kind of game.
Right.
As we've talked about.
Right.
And Reeves hasn't been settled so far this game. Or comfortable. And it looks like a quarterback draw. And he'll get hit at the line, and it's a big hit. And when they've gone to that quarterback draw, it has not worked. And I believe he'll lose a yard and make it 3rd and 11 in a familiar situation for this Raiders offense and this Pioneers defense.
Well, if you saw right when the ball was snapped, the Pioneer defense, I don't know if it was a linebacker or a defensive lineman over here on the left side, was just, he had a free run, basically, if he wanted to the quarterback. And I think Reeves really didn't have a choice but to try and run the ball because he looked this way. I could see him look right at the Pioneer defender.
Yeah, I saw you signaling.
And he's like, I can't go that way. So I think he didn't really have a choice on that play.
And it's a 3rd and long. Here comes the blitz. And he tries to escape, is able to get some yards, but he'll be a little bit short and maybe 4-down territory in this stage of the football game.
We'll see. I think Coach Walker's going to get a little.
And we have an injured player. Yeah. And thankfully not. He's able to jog off the field.
That was Stroman that was down too.
So we hope he is okay.
Yeah, that would be he's going to come off the field for at least a play and get checked out.
And that might alter the play calling here,
man, yeah.
Given you could say the best defensive player, or one of the best, along with Lacey and Bryce Jackson, is Stroman won't be on the field, and they're staying out there.
I think they are. I think you're right. I think that did just define what they decided to do with the ball here.
So we have 31 seconds left, and the clock is continuing to run. The Stonewall Jackson Raiders, and we have a 3rd and 2, so a big down here. It's really make or break right here, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Reeves with the snap. He gives it to Albia, and he's able to stretch forward, and it looks like he was going to be stopped short, but he's able to push forward, and he's been quiet so far, but that's a big play there.
It's a big 3rd down play. Albia does what he needs to do to get that 1st down.
And we'll run down on this 3rd quarter. 14 Patriot Pioneers, 0 for the Stonewall Jackson Raiders. And you're watching this broadcast on PrinceWilliamCountySports.com. We're going to take a break.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto offers extraordinary and friendly service with no appointment necessary. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your local recall headquarters and offers free recall checks. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your one stop to help keep your vehicle running smoothly. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. There are 3 locations in Manassas at 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back, folks.
Yeah, and we're back here at this Patriot Pioneers home game at Stonewall Jackson High School, and that was not a mistake on my part. That is the case here. And 14-0 first down for the Stonewall Jackson Raiders, and I'll pass over these play calling duties to my man Ryan.
So an interesting third quarter there. Not a lot of huge plays that we saw in the first half. It was a quiet quarter.
Much like the first quarter.
Much like the first quarter. So the Raiders now are 1st and 10 after that first down by Albia. And now Reese is going to pass it out to Coates on the side there. He does a nice spin move, but he loses the football.
And it's out of bounds.
It did go out of bounds. Man, he broke that tackle hard, but then lost the football as a result of it, but it did go out of bounds.
I believe he ran right over.
He literally did.
Jonathan Prumpe, and when I mean run over, literally, if you look that up, a video of Rayshawn Coates of that play will pop up. But again, he did lose the football, and they're fortunate it went out of bounds. And
yeah.
But the Raiders, I mean, not much momentum, but just a little bit of momentum is squeezing their way.
It is. Because they've got a 1st and 10 here. Moving the ball down the field. Reeves takes the snap. He's going to do a design quarterback run and trying to go up the middle. And gets maybe a yard. And on the stop was...
Reeves on the quarterback keeper. 8 of 2 yards on the play.
Oh, they do give him 2, so it'll be a 2nd and... scoreboard says 2nd and 9.
Stop for the Pioneers. It'll be 2nd down and a long 8.
So this is interesting here because the Raiders are starting to get a little, like you said, a little sliver of momentum here as they've made some good plays here to keep this drive alive.
As you can see, the corners and safeties, they really just have a line at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to hit Coates in the flat.
There you go. Another play still on his feet to the 30-25. And there we go. There's a big play there that gets this sideline fired up there.
And again, they're basically just the corners and the safeties are just aligned together. And they were basically at just 10 yards deep. So they just pass into the flat, and Coates is able to break a tackle, and he's really been the whole offense. And he's making some plays that might open some things up for some other guys like Reese and Williams.
Well, this has been probably, in my opinion, the best drive for the Raiders in this entire game so far, as they're now on the Pioneer 25 and driving here. Empty backfield for Reeves. He takes the snap, looking downfield, and he's going to have to get away from the rush using his legs up to the 20. Still on his feet to the 10, 5, still on his feet. Touchdown, Stonewall Raiders.
And I'm looking for a block in the back penalty, but there is none, and it's going to stand.
No flags. And he just, did you see him tiptoe on that line to get into the end zone? And that is exactly what we have been looking for all night.
And they wave off the flag.
They do wave off the flag. So that gets the Raiders on the board for the first time tonight early in this fourth quarter, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
And Deshaun Reeves again on that score, and he just shows his athletic ability again, as you said, tiptoeing. This is a big kick, however, and Deshaun Reeves will be the holder. Again, last time we had the Stonewall Jackson team, Mr. Kevin Melendez made a very clutch kick to beat Battlefield.
So let's see if he can put it up through the uprights here to make it a one-score game for this Raider team. And we are ready to go here for this extra point. There's the snap. Hold is down. It's a good hold. It's a line drive kick, but it makes it through. And your score now after that, Pioneers 14.
And here's a flag.
Uh-oh.
But again, all of a sudden, it was all Pioneers. Now it's 7-14, maybe 6-14. So all of a sudden.
Well, we'll see what the flag is. Most likely it'll be, if it is not picked up, it'll probably be assessed on the kickoff, and they wave it off again.
But all of a sudden,
Interesting.
they've snuck into this game somehow. And like we said, it could be a 4-score game. Now it's only a 1-score game. And the momentum now is on the Stonewall Jackson Raiders side. And at their away home game.
Yep.
And they're getting the crowd into it.
Yeah.
As we can feel just all the bleachers shake. And again, it looks like a blatant call to me on that touchdown run that it looks obvious like a block in the back, and maybe the ref thought Jonathan Prempeh flopped or something, but again, they're wearing that uniform. Have to respect the call.
Either way, it's a huge play, and it's what this Raiders team needed to get that momentum back, exactly what we were talking about.
And you could just see all these Stonewall players, they're jumping up and down, they're ready to go, and it's not the same energy for the Pioneers. And Reeves, he struggled all day, but he's been so resilient, and he's able to score. And last time Melendez kicked it off, he absolutely destroyed that football.
Let's see what he does here. It's a line drive. Kick bounces at the 20. Stroman is going to pick it up and return it. He's up to the 20. Now up to the 15, going towards that sideline, and he'll get tackled out of bounds. Oh, that's going to be a flag. That's going to be a flag.
And you cannot do that at this stage of the football game when you have momentum. And
it's going to be a late hit or unsportsmanlike conduct either way.
And that's going to tack on 15.
Oh, yes, every single time. And he was well out of bounds. So unfortunately, you can't do that, as we hear.
Maybe they wave it off this time as well.
I don't think so. That was, at least for me up here, that was pretty obvious. And they are going to call the late hit or a personal foul, late hit.
Yeah, I've never seen the wave off signal, as I'm just new to watching high school football at this capacity, and I've seen it twice
in 2 plays. Actually, I can tell you from my standpoint, doing this for a couple years now, I've never seen a flag waved off as far as I can remember.
And I thought that was a saying. It's literally waved off.
And there's Rogers with the snap, gives it to Baldwin, who gets up, sprints up past the 50 in midfield, and quickly the Pioneers are back in this one and on this drive.
And all of a sudden, momentum is switching.
Yep.
As number 4, Xander Albia, limps off the field. Number 22, Anthony Marble, senior, comes in. And he's listed as a running back.
So 10.5 left to go in this game. And it's 1st and 10, and the Pioneers already on the other side of the 50 at the 49 of the Raiders.
And Albia has had lower body injury issues.
Yeah, he's actually sitting down on the bench right now, getting checked out by staff.
And he's a key player.
There's the snap by Rogers. The give this time up the middle. I don't think that was Baldwin, though, on the carry. I couldn't see the number. Oh, no, it was still Baldwin. Excuse me.
But, yeah, they really leaned on him.
So a 2nd and 6 coming up now. We are under 10 minutes left in this game. And the Pioneers definitely are starting to maybe use that clock a little bit more to their advantage now that they're only up by 1 score.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to snap it not under 5 seconds left in the game clock.
So shotgun formation here. Baldwin back there.
I think they just stick with the run.
Send Stroman in motion there. They're going to give him but it's blown dead at the line.
Most likely a false start.
Penalty flag down on the field.
Let's see. And it is a false start on the Pioneers.
That is a big one right there.
Yeah.
And if this Stonewall Jackson Raiders defense can make a stand and get a score, I mean, again, we keep saying this. It felt like it had the feeling of a blowout, even though the score didn't show that.
Right. You felt that the Raiders team was a little bit deflated coming into the second half.
But that's high school football for you. Just one little shift. And again,
and actually, when Joel was talking to Ryan from Inside Nova at halftime, he said that. He said any play can change a game. And we've certainly seen that with the Raiders here in this fourth quarter. Fourth quarter.
And they're going to, it looks like they're moving back again. So that's going to be, I don't even know what the marker is.
So now they're back on the other side of the 50 at their own 45 for a second and long, 18. And now the Pioneers with the penalties not really helping them out.
Silly ones as well, false starts.
Rogers takes the snap, he rolls out to the right, looking for his man outside, underthrown! Just in and out of the hands, looking for Tyler Settle. And that's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Again, he, as we heard before the game with the senior night announcements, he plans to play college football, so he's a talented guy, and they haven't been able to get him the ball. And he has a relatively quiet senior year.
Yeah.
But again, that was well played coverage, excuse me, by the Stonewall Jackson Raiders, and it made it a tough throw and a missed throw then. But that's a tough throw for any quarterback, especially a high school quarterback.
So now a critical third down here for this Raiders defense as it's 3rd and 18.
Let's see if they bring the pressure.
Rogers
they do.
The snap. He's going to throw it up there, toss it up there for his receiver. No. Flag comes out. And that, it looks like to be pass interference on number 22, and that's Anthony Marble, who came in for Albia.
And Albia walks to the locker room.
So that is not a good look for the Raiders. He is walking off the field. And Marble is the guy who came in for him to take over that kind of roll out there in the defense, and he's the one to give up the pass interference.
And I think that call could have gone either way. He didn't really turn around, but wasn't too much contact, but got to go with the call. But now the Pioneers
they're going to get a first down.
Yeah, it looked like they were moving back for a second. It's going to be automatic first down, I believe.
It is.
But again, I know Xander Albia personally, and he's a very just motivated guy, emotional guy, and emotional player. He puts all his all into every single football game, every single snap he plays. So got to be frustrating for him. Come off the field.
So actually, it's still a third down. So the call must not have been a pass interference call, but they give us to Baldwin anyway, and he's going to rumble forward for the first down regardless. So a little confusion on what the call on the field was. It didn't give him a first down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, Baldwin gets the first down here, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
And then the clock will run.
Yeah, as soon as they reset the chains here, the clock will start running, coming down to about 8.5 left to play in this one.
And the thing with this game, as we talked about it, I mean, really, in most situations, it's most likely these teams are going to face each other first game, and the first game of the playoffs. So really, what's at stake is this district championship. But again, it's just an interesting situation we have. I mean, again, they're kind of getting a feel for each other, and they go ahead and play each other again. So you got to expect two close games.
Rogers takes the snap. Give is up the middle there, brumbling forward, still on his feet, taking both of his teams with him. And Baldwin, I think, is going to get another first down there. There's a Pioneer down in the backfield.
I believe it's an O-line. I can't quite pick up the number.
So there's going to be a little bit of an injury timeout while they take a look at him. We'll take a quick breath, too. Come back for more from Stonewall right after this message. Prince William Sports and Entertainment.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto, located in Manassas, offers everyday repair service and maintenance for all makes and model cars, SUVs, and trucks. A lot more than just an oil change and new tires. From the works are signature oil change with a complete multi-point inspection, to brake and battery replacements, to a full selection of 13 major tire brands, backed by our low-price tire guarantee. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. 3 locations in Manassas, 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back. quick little break in the action here as they're attending to the injured Pioneers. So it gives us a second to kind of
digest,
break things down here as to what's been going on in this fourth quarter, especially because we saw early on the momentum starting to shift to the Raiders a little bit. Reeves gets that nice 25-yard touchdown run to really pump this Raider team up. But then Pioneers get the ball back, and they've been kind of maintaining possession on this drive.
Yeah, and a big pass interference call.
Or whatever the call was, because
there was a flag in the area of a pass. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, so it did create a 3rd and 2, and now after that play, we get Baldwin at the first down. So
actually, it looks like it's a 2nd and short.
Oh, it is. It is a 2nd and short.
You got to think they're just going to keep running that
absolutely.
football. Maybe surprise it. Maybe take a shot, catch this defense off guard.
We'll see as Rogers is in the shotgun, but they've been doing that formation all night. The give is to Baldwin at the middle. Still on his feet, breaks a couple tackles to the 10. 5, rumbles in for the score. Tim Baldwin Jr., his second touchdown of the run, his first touchdown run of the night.
And again, this defense has been on the field for a long time, and he's not an easy, Baldwin's not an easy man to get down.
You saw that right there.
And yeah, he was able to break a couple tackles. He showed off his speed and scored a touchdown.
So that takes your score to 20-7 here, pending the extra point. Baldwin with the nice run there. So Cotter's going to take the extra point here for the Pioneers to make it 21-7 and a 3-score game. But it's blocked again by this Raiders special teams. So it remains a 2-possession game here. We'll keep it here.
So that could be big if they can get a quick score and a stop.
So Baldwin gets the nice touchdown run. Another blocked extra point for the special teams tonight. That's 2. One came back in the second quarter, and now we've got another one about a little over halfway through this fourth quarter. So that makes things interesting. If the Raiders can start putting the points back on the board, that could make things interesting late in this game.
And you got to give credit to this Raiders team. They've stayed resilient. They've just stayed in this game. And, I mean, they've really only had one good drive, their most recent drive, and they're only down 2 scores. They've had opportunities just to lay down, and this could be a blowout, but they've stuck in it. And then give credit to this Patriot Pioneers team and their coaching staff. They have them well prepared for this football game.
So line drive kick there, rumbling down there. That's going to be, looks like, that's Williams on the return. He's got on the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, still on his feet, and goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
No flags.
And no flags. And just like that, it's another big play by this Raiders team that puts them in position to get points on the board.
And they're just staying in it. And you could see they kept avoiding kicking it off to Williams, and that is why he had a big return, almost scored. Number 10, Michael Cotter.
The kicker.
Yeah, the kicker and punter.
Was the one who pushed him out of bounds finally.
He is listed as a wide receiver, so let's not
categorize him just yet, but yes.
And as you can see, Reese isn't matched up with Prempe. I don't even think he's on the field anymore.
Reeves takes the snap. He's looking downfield for his receiver into the end zone, and it's incomplete. It's incomplete.
And they really just threw it up to Reese.
Yeah.
And kind of just basketball move, box him out.
And he almost caught it.
Yeah, it looked like he had the ball, and it was just knocked away. Beautiful play by the Pioneer in the secondary. And that was a good place to the ball.
It was. That was actually a really good throw by Reeves.
Yeah, just threw it up there, let his man go get it. And that's a big move there, because you got to think if you put the undersized Prempe, he might be able to come up with that catch. Because I don't see him on the field. I mean, it's pretty easy to read their numbers.
So it's 2nd and 10 here for this Raiders offense here.
And he has bright yellow
Reeves
gloves on.
He's going to take it again, and he's just pushed backwards there. A lot of Pioneers in on that sack. The one that I caught was Cole Scott, number 35, who actually eventually brings him down. So we go from big offensive play, big special teams play for the Raiders, try to the end zone, and then a log 3rd and 13 here for the Raiders after that sack.
Yeah, and that's the risk for going for that shot, because then you pretty much have to get yards that next play.
And now in this situation, you put yourself in a 3rd and 13 where in a 2-score game, you almost have to try and throw something towards the end zone.
And they're going to create that line again with their secondary. As you can see.
Yeah. There's the snap there. Reeves takes it. He's looking downfield. He's got to scramble a little bit. Looks to the end zone again, but into double coverage, and it's picked up by the Pioneers. And that's going to be an interception. Still on his feet down the sideline. And finally, bulldozed out of bounds, and on the interception there was Bryce Jackson. And there is a flag, though, back where he started returning the interception, so it may be on the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be after the fact.
It's going to be after the interception, so they'll most likely keep personal foul on the receiving team, but the interception still stands as it was after.
Yeah, and really nowhere to go, so he just threw it up, and it was double coverage, intercepted. And you got to think that just blows the air out of the.
So either way, the Pioneers will keep the ball, but instead of being up near the 30-yard line, they're back at their own 5 to start this drive. But that gives them a lot of field to work with 6:28 left to play, so a lot of time for them to try and get off the clock here. And that's tough to see because Reeves was actually doing a good job on that drive.
Yeah, and it really has no other options. You just have to you have to try and get the first down. It's a do or die situation.
Rogers takes the snap. Quarterback keeper. Now he tries to get out of it and go around the outside, and it's sacked for a loss of 1.
And they're just going to stack the box on the Raiders. And why wouldn't you try and get a safety, get the ball back? And the clock's just going to continue to run. However,
yeah, we're getting down to 6 minutes left in this game. Patriots still up 20-7 on these Raiders.
And as we move forward in this game, as we move towards the end, as we stand right now, it looks like the Pioneers get that win, but it looks like they're going to face off again as we sit in the playoffs. So maybe
give is to Baldwin here, and he rumbles forward to the 10. Gives a little bit more breathing room here for this offense, but it's going to be a 3rd and 5.
But maybe a loss on either side isn't as big just to your football team as it normally would be with this being a rival game, because you'll get another opportunity down the line.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and manageable 7 for this Pioneers team. Obviously, they would like to keep the Raiders defense on the field. Rogers takes the snap. Give us to Baldwin again, straight up the middle, and I think he has enough with the forward progression there on that run. We'll see where they spot him.
Are they going to bring out the chains? No, they're just moving him
forward.
Nope,
they're moving him forward because they did give him the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers, and we are under 5 minutes in this one now. And you got to think, like you said, Colin, they're just going to continue just to run the ball late in this game.
Mm-hmm.
As they take their time getting the call from the sideline here.
And it's looking like the Pioneers are going to take this win, and it's it's just a hard-fought game on both sides. The Raiders were able to stay in it, but again, the Pioneers, they're just a better football team today.
And a flag comes out. Looks like it might be a delay of game, and it is. Well, it's just an interesting situation to be in for both teams. All week, as a team, you're expecting this game to be out at Patriot. You're expecting to have a huge home crowd for the Pioneers, which they actually did fill the seats pretty well tonight.
As they are known to do.
And then it gets changed over to Stonewall. And so it's just an interesting situation for both of these teams to be in, because it's not really it's a home game for both teams, really, because on the stat sheet Pioneers are at home, but they're not at their home field, and for the Raiders you're playing at your home field.
Yeah, it's not like
really
it's an alternate place. It's your home.
It is.
And you got to think, how could this game be different if Taville Jung would be able to play? I think that's going to be one of the big questions, and for the rest of their season.
Yeah, especially going into the postseason if he can't get healthy.
They do have Potomac next week, and you never want to underestimate any opponent, but you have to think they can go in there and win. Another odd situation, that's a Saturday game.
Oh, interesting. So the Pioneers now coming out of that 1st and 15 after the delay of game. Rogers takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself on the quarterback run. Up to the 15 now, rumbles forward to the 20, and keeps that clock moving. It'll be a second and manageable couple yards here for the Pioneers, as they are just fine with letting this clock continue to roll down under 4 minutes. Definitely taking their time, getting the call from the sideline. But continuing to stay in this shotgun formation with Rogers and Baldwin back there with him. Sends a man in motion. Rogers takes the snap, gives it to Baldwin up the middle.
Yeah, I believe it's some kind of snap infraction by the Pioneers.
So let's see what the call is. False start on the Pioneers, so that'll push them back another couple yards.
Penalty on the field is a false start against the Pioneers. 5-yard penalty in Orleans, second and 9.
So 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Pioneers, as the clock really ran down on that play. We're now 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. And so now they'll set up here for this 2nd and 10. Takes the snap, gives to Baldwin again right up the middle. This time, really nowhere to go, but gets the clock moving again. As we are getting down to under 3 minutes to play in this one. So if all stands and we don't have a 2-minute comeback here, the Pioneers will effectively take the Cedar Run District Championship this year. Rogers takes the snap now. He rolls out to his right. Oh, in on the heavy rush. He's got to get rid of it. And the flag comes out before he throws it. But
and another flag.
It has to be intentional grounding again. There was no eligible receiver where he threw the ball.
And Xander Albia comes back on the field.
Holding on the offense and intentional grounding. The 3rd time tonight. And you got to wonder, I mean, obviously he's a young kid, but you got to wonder what goes through his mind when he's getting flushed out of the pocket like that, because that's the 3rd time he's made that mistake.
Yeah, and we've seen when he gets in those situations, he kind of just slings it up there.
I mean, rightly so. He should try and get rid of it if he's going to get rid of it, but also kind of got to start realizing where your receivers are on the field, so you can avoid those penalties.
2 penalties on the play.
So they decline the holding. They accept the intentional grounding, so loss of down, and it'll be a 4th down situation for the Pioneers.
And they don't have a punt guy back, or punt returner back. But as I was saying before that play occurred, Xander Albia, he's back on the sideline, but he's
on the bench
and with no helmet.
So his day is probably done for the most part.
Especially with the stage and score of this game.
Out on the field.
So there is a timeout on the field, but it looks like the Pioneers end up sending out the punt team after that, which I think that's the right call. Now they'll send Reeves back to return the punt.
Let's see if they come after the punt right here, given that he's backed up.
And as we come out of the timeout here, yeah, he's backed up in his own end zone to punt this one away. So it's going to be a short snap, and he does manage to snap pretty well, but it's a muff or a bad punt. Only gets up to the 15-yard line.
And Stonewall Jackson was having punting issues, but that was probably the least successful punt we've seen.
Yeah, that really went off weirdly on his foot.
And that gives us, I mean, a little slither of hope for the Raiders. Onside kick score. Aaron Rodgers is not on that sideline, but it could be done. I wouldn't put it past Deshaun Reeves and this Raiders team.
Well, they've obviously shown the big play capability in this game, and they're going to need one here, as Albia, as we said, not look like his night is done. So Marble's going to take over in the backfield for him. Or not, no, excuse me, Wolford's going to take it.
Yeah,
so Reeves now has to scramble out to the right, looking towards the end zone, has to throw it up there, and it's going to be almost picked off again.
Yeah, Elijah Reese went in to block for his running quarterback, but he wasn't able to escape enough to run incomplete pass.
So a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Raiders. 2:15 left to play. And I don't hate the play call because I think they're trying to get a quick score here, like you mentioned, Colin.
Well, you can't take a not quick score.
Well, yeah, you can't take another turnover, that's for sure. So the play calling's got to be.
I want to look for Rayshon Coates. When they've been successful, it's been him.
Wolford back there again with Reese. Reese takes the snap, fakes it to him, but he's got a heavy rush. 2 Pioneers are back there to take him down, and he's still on his feet. Oh, picked off.
Nearly intercepted.
Whoa.
And that's a D lineman dream right there.
Because he would have had some run to room there. He would have had some room to run if he had picked that off in stride.
And I'm telling you, he would have had some blockers. They would have blocked for that man.
Wow, that would have been something interesting to see there. So now it's a 3rd and 10, 2:08 left to play here in this one. As I think there's no question here, it's 4-down territory if you don't get it, but they've got to give Reeves some time back there to throw the ball if that's what they want him to do. He's not getting any time.
Oh, it's a high snap.
And Reeves doesn't get it under control. And did the Pioneers able to jump on it? They had 2 men back there. And the players for Patriot are saying they have the ball.
And that's going to wrap it.
That's probably going to signal the end of the game. And no, they still say the Raiders have it.
Hold up.
As Francisco Renteria came under the pile with it.
And I don't know how.
But either way, it's a very long 4th down. So,
yeah, 4th and about.
Going to the end zone here, definitely.
4th and forever.
And it's really interesting to see that they've been having those same snap issues in this game as they did 2 weeks ago when we were here when they played Battlefield. Reeves takes a snap, manages this snap here, looking downfield. He goes towards the end zone looking for Reese.
Oh, he caught it! He caught it!
Raiders! Touchdown, Elijah Reese! Wow, and just like that, a 34-yard touchdown for Reese. And that was into double coverage, too, and Reese was able to get up and grab it.
Yeah, and just this is how crazy this game's been. You thought the Pioneers had it, and the Raiders are at the 35-yard line. They just chuck it deep. It's Elijah Reese, and he
Got a minute and 23 seconds left here.
He just snags it.
They're going to try and put through the extra point to make it
And they have all 3 timeouts.
a 6-point
I believe.
game. Well, the Pioneers are going to call a timeout here.
I believe the Raiders have all 3 timeouts.
We're going to take a quick break, too. Come back and finish up this one.
Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto offers extraordinary and friendly service with no appointment necessary. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your local recall headquarters and offers free recall checks. Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto is your one stop to help keep your vehicle running smoothly. Stop by Battlefield Quick Lane Tire and Auto today, no appointment needed. There are 3 locations in Manassas at 9026 Centerville Road, 8980 Mathis Avenue, and 8846 Mathis Avenue.
And welcome back, folks. Don't go anywhere just yet if you're still with us.
And as this game has progressed, I mean, Stonewall's been able to hang around a little bit, and the bad plays for them have been like the holding calls and just the silly mistakes. It hasn't been the talent that is obviously they have a huge amount of talent on this team. It's really those little things they need to clean up.
So the Raiders here are going to try and put through an extra point, make it a 6-point game. The hold is good. Oh, and they had to pick up the snap. But is he going to be able to get around the corner? No, he doesn't. They had to try and make a play out of it with the snap. Javon Jackson was going to try and make it a 2-point conversion.
But we still have, I mean, that's big because Patriot, 2 of theirs have been blocked. Therefore,
yeah, it's still a 7-point game, so still a 1-possession game. But instead of being able to win it, if you get the ball back with time, now
who
you're
knows?
forced.
They could go for that 2-point conversion if they get the opportunity. But yes.
Well, we've seen that before from certain teams trying to go for 2 to win it, and it hasn't worked out. So I don't know if they would want to try and do that here or not. But anything can happen, as we've seen from this game so far.
And Patriots playing for the onside kick, so maybe they kick it deep, pin them back, and then they can use their timeouts, maybe have good field position. Yeah, because they have their hands team out. I mean, they have
Stroman up there at the top of the line.
I mean, they have everybody but 2 guys.
So they are certainly thinking onside kick.
And you really don't practice this much in high school football.
No, you don't.
So let's see what happens.
See what they do. No, it's going to be a big long kick down to the end zone, and it's going to knock.
Oh! No!
Man, wow.
I don't.
That ball just kind of just stopped dead in its tracks. It didn't really bounce anywhere. Man, so now
I didn't think that
it must have just touched that goal line, because that was so close.
I mean, from our angle, which is
it didn't look like it touched.
Yeah, it did not. But again, he obviously had a better angle. Got to respect that call.
So now the weight of this game is on the Stonewall defense to get a quick 3-and-out or a turnover.
And you've got to press coverage, everybody on the line, 1 safety at most high, which is what they have right now. Key in on that run.
And they do give it to Baldwin there. And it's a short game. And it's going to be an immediate timeout by Stonewall. And we'll keep it here to finish up this game. But immediate timeout by Coach Walker to conserve that clock as much as possible.
Taken by the Raiders.
So like you said, they do have all of their timeouts. So if they can get them to do a quick 3-and-out here, they will have time to try and make a play. So we'll certainly see what they decide to call. I mean, it's no question here that the Pioneers are probably going to continue to try and run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they try a pass there on that third down and end the football game, but if you fail in that, then you give Stonewall a timeout. But again, they've shown that big play ability.
Oh yeah.
Again, wouldn't put it past Deshaun Reeves and Elijah Reese and Khalid Williams, Rayshawn Coates, and these guys on the Stonewall Jackson Raiders offense.
But the defense is being called upon again here late in this game.
And they've played well.
To get them the ball back here.
With the amount of pressure they've been under, I mean, Patriot could easily have 30, maybe 40 points tonight.
So if there's any time for this defense to play at their best.
And can't lose contain of Rogers here. Maybe he fakes it.
And it's going to be a quarterback keeper by Rogers. Flags come out. Multiple flags come out. So that's going to stop the clock regardless to sort out the penalties. And those came out quick as soon as he started to run the ball, so I don't know if it was a quick hold. Right off the bat, we'll get the call here, and this could certainly affect the rest of this drive. It's going to be a personal foul on the Raiders and a personal foul face mask on the Raiders.
Oh, it's going to
block.
That is big. That is
wow.
Big.
Shot block against the Pioneers, a personal foul face mask against the Raiders, as well as another personal foul.
So those penalties will offset, and now it's a 2nd and 8 with 1:09 left, but once they pick up the flags and get set, I believe that clock's going to start rolling again now. So interesting sequence of events there with the penalties. Now those flags came out pretty quick, so it must have happened simultaneously with the chop block and then the face mask. Both flags came in. So 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers. And Coach Walker's going to call another timeout here to talk things over.
Because they're going to run the clock.
Yeah, they would have started the clock again as soon as they picked up the flag. So smart by Coach Walker there to go ahead and just call the timeout.
But now they're going to have little to no time.
And they still have to stop him.
And Walker is livid.
And he's certainly had some words with the referees all night. Yeah, we've got a good look down there on the field of Coach Walker's just displeasure. He's trying to get the attention of the head referee. He really wants to have some words with him, but they're not really letting him make it over there. And now the head ref's going to come over and maybe explain some things. And he's telling him to get off the field. I mean, I understand there have been a couple questionable calls, but
on both sides.
Right, on both sides of the ball. But like we said, we're not the ones on the field. We can't see everything that's going on. Obviously, the way we look at the game is not the way that it's seen on the field. So we try not to discuss that as much as we can. But when you've got
it's a very tough job of what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and when you've got a coaching staff who's obviously displeased with the calls on the field tonight, it's hard not to notice it, especially when we've got cameras on the field who can clearly see that.
But the refs are discussing right now.
And I'm not quite sure I don't really understand what else there is to discuss. I guess they're just trying to make sure that Coach Walker understands what the calls were and explain everything to their staff. But so we'll wait to get that sorted out.
This probably is the longest fourth quarter I've ever been.
Yeah, I was going to say,
a part of.
From it turning into a pretty quick game under 2
two running
hours.
Football teams gonna run the clock, but yeah, exciting though. Stonewall, I believe they were shut out through first 3 quarters.
Yeah,
and then
they were. Yep, they came alive at the beginning of the fourth. with that Reeves 25-yard run. All right, so I guess everything's sorted out. Probably not to Coach Walker's liking, but we've got a ball game to finish here. 1:09 left to play. And with the timeout, the clock won't start until they get this ball off. Rogers takes the snap to give us to Baldwin. He just tries to lower his head and get the yardage, and that'll keep the clock rolling. 1 minute, under 1 minute to play. But a third down. And Coach Walker is
He's upset again because he didn't get the timeout as fast as he wanted to.
So now they give it to him. So that will be their final timeout, I believe. With 1:09 left. Or no, excuse me, with 59. Oh, they did switch it back to 104. Okay, all right. So
Yeah,
I think that's what Coach Walker was upset about. He's like, I wanted to call it, and they did put the time back on the clock.
And he's still, you could tell he's still. This has been an odd game. I mean, perfect game to follow Halloween. I mean,
Yeah.
just everything that's entailed. Such a big game, switching stadiums. Just how with this game, it's not a normal game. Just with what has happened, the big play by Reeves called back. Oh, you think it's fumbled and it's over, but no. Then they throw it deep to Elijah Reese because they recover it. And again here, and the whole ref situation right now with Coach Walker, big third down. Let's see if they run it or pass it.
Oh, with 1:04 left, Rogers is in there in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. The give is going to be to Baldwin, and he's going to be stopped. But that's going to keep the clock rolling, though, and they don't have any more timeouts.
So let's see if Patriot runs it down, then calls a timeout, or do they just snap it at one?
Well, they're in punt formation, but it looks like they're certainly going to take their time.
Yeah, not bad.
As we're getting down to 30 seconds left here. As Reeves is going to be back there to receive the punt.
And yeah, let's see what he can do.
Let's see. Well, let's see where the Pioneers decide to punt it.
And it looks like we have a different punter.
Yeah, it's Stroman back there punting.
And timeout taken on the field by the Pioneers. 19 seconds to go in the game.
And they take the delay of game.
No, they took the timeout before the delay of game. Which you'd rather do that because you don't want to get pushed back and give even more field position to the Raiders.
But it's Stroman back there, so maybe he has a bigger leg.
I don't know.
Maybe the idea is he has a bigger leg.
Or maybe he has a more directional ability with the kick. I don't know, but he was back there to punt. But with 19 seconds left, I mean, what?
I mean, they could have a punt return 2 plays, hopefully.
That's hypothetically what could happen, and that's what you'd like to see happen if you're the Raiders. But
my prediction is Reeves will fumble it, then Patriot will fumble it, then
this is going to be the end of the game. It's just going to be all turnovers.
Stonewall will run back for a touchdown, but it will be called back because of a penalty.
And they are still getting this crowd pumped up here in Manassas.
And both teams are trying to do that because it's a home game for both teams.
For both teams, technically, yeah. Stroman for the Pioneers is back there to punt. Reeves, back to return for the Raiders.
But you see where they have that one player. I don't know. It's an odd formation.
Well, they might be trying to play the short punt too. They might be trying to play both possibilities.
And they bring Jovan Jackson back as well.
Yeah, so they're setting up for possible directional punt or a shorter punt as he's kind of.
But a big play here for Stroman, and he's been a big player so far today.
And it's a high punt. Back down to the 40. Reeves is going to take it. He tries to get out to the outside. He needs to get out of bounds. If they want to save some time on the clock, he's still on his feet. 10 seconds left, 9. And he's finally tackled down, and that is not the return that this Raider team.
Yeah, it looked like it had some potential.
And I almost feel like Reeves should have just tried to get out of bounds.
Or just get down.
Yeah, anything, because the clock would stop either way.
Yeah, he had some potential, and he had nowhere left to go. He should have just kept running forward and taken the hit or went out of bounds. And he probably would have had 4 more seconds, 3 more seconds.
But now you have 9 seconds to pretty much throw it up for a prayer.
I believe around this time last year, I don't know if our viewers remember or saw this, but Miami and Duke, they just did a bunch of laterals. I believe Miami did against ranked number 21 Duke team, and they somehow won. So
I don't know if
but again, you don't just practice this. This
no,
isn't
you
a
don't.
thing.
You don't practice this at all, and I don't think they're in a position to really want to try and do something like that necessarily.
They bring a somewhat blitz.
Oh, and the ball's tipped. Incomplete.
They try to get some yards there, but it was
Well,
tipped.
yeah, it looks like they were going to try and just set up something to try and make a run downfield, but gets tipped to the line. 6 seconds left, so another play here.
Let's see if they go with a hook and ladder type play, or maybe just pass it up the middle, get some blockers for somebody. Maybe Williams or Coates, 2 of their faster guys. Again, Xander Albia is not on the field, and he's one of their biggest threats.
That's definitely hurt them in this fourth quarter for sure. So here we go, folks. 6 seconds left, 20-13 Pioneers. Last chance for the Raiders. Reeves fakes it downfield. Now he's going to get sacked by the Pioneers, and that's going to be your ball game, folks. And what a way to end this game for the Pioneers. Negron gets the sack, and your final score, Pioneers 20, the Raiders 13, and that will give the Pioneers the Cedar Run District Championship for this year. So congratulations to them. So we will just leave it here real quick to wrap things up from Stonewall. And so what I do here is we did one word at halftime. One word to summarize the end of this game there for you, Colin.
Crazy. I don't really know how to explain. It's again just a weird situation coming in, and just odd things took place. Big plays on both sides of the ball. You think, oh, Patriots gonna run away with it, but no. Stonewall kept fighting, kept inching back, and they somewhat had a chance at the end of the game. And I mean, no Taville Jung, no Xander Albia for a good part.
Yeah.
And
just rough. So, yeah, so that'll do it for us here in Manassas. Your final score game, Pioneers 20, Stonewall Jackson 13. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will be at Battlefield next week for Battlefield Patriot, so tune in for more from that. This is Ryan and Colin saying good night from Manassas.